Hello and welcome to The Print. I am Triya Gulati, and with me today is Iranian actress Mandana Karimi. Mandana, welcome to The Print.
Thank you so much for having me.
First of all, I want to ask you, how are you doing? I heard that you have packed your bags and you are going back to Iran. Tell me, what is the current situation like?
First of all, I didn't say I packed my bag and I'm going to Iran because everyone knows that you cannot go to Iran right now. And I've been banned from the country for many years because, I left Iran when I was 18, and because of my work for many years of talking about women rights and working with, few production house and the fact that I have lived my life freely and I've always spoken about my people and the situation back home in Iran. I cannot go. But yes, I am living in. I'm leaving India right now because of the flight situation. I'm kind of stuck in India, and yeah, just wanted to clarify that one. So.
So Mandana, talk to me about the situation in Iran. Your family is there, your friends are there. What have the conversations been like so far?
Well, again, the government has blacked out the internet, so they don't have access to internet. We cannot call them, and I vaguely have conversations of matter of like a minute or few seconds, and the phones gets cut. The situation right now is Israel and America, they have attacked all the regime's stations and regime offices and courts and things like that. So they attack it against the regime, not the people. And that's why the conversations that I'm having, it's mixed of a lot of hope. And they keep saying that every missile is coming down. We are hoping and we are searching to see which office or which police station or which court has been destroyed. And the reason for that, that a lot of people not understanding why a nation is happy to be attacked by Israel and America is because we've been fighting with this regime. We've been in war with this regime for over 40 years now. So for us, if someone comes and helps us to get rid of this regime, it's the hope. It's that strength that we didn't have, the strength that our people, they went to the streets with bare hands, they gave their own life to change this regime, and we could not do it anymore. So now everyone is happy, but yes, obviously they're scared. They're staying at home, and we are waiting for Reza Shah Pahlavi, our king, to do an announcement and when they can go to the streets and take our country back.
Right. Bandra, we also saw so many videos of Iranian women celebrating
Yeah.
whatever has happened, right? But on the
Yeah.
other hand, in India, there have
Yeah.
been multiple protests across the country where people mourning the death of Khamenei. So, what do you
Yeah.
have to say about that?
Firstly, I want to say to those people, specifically the woman, please go and live in Iran as a woman for a week, please. Then I want to see what you're gonna say, who you're gonna breach. That's the first thing. Second of all, in Bombay, for past since 2022, I have tried so many times to get permission to go on a street and have a peaceful candlelight for the lives that we have lost. Why I don't get permission? Why I didn't get permission? Is it because I'm not part of the organization? Is it because I'm not a politician? And those people who you are talking about, who were in Delhi, Bangalore, Lucknow, Kashmir, all of them, all of them, if you actually track who they are, they go back to some terrorist organization, or they go back to some sort of a political party where they have their own agenda, or they've been paid by it. Why I didn't get permission? And I don't know if you saw it in news or not. 14th February, our king Reza Shah Pahlavi had an announcement that on the 14th Feb we're gonna go to the street outside of Iran, and we're gonna gather together, and that is gonna be in support of Iranians who are losing their lives in Iran. And India didn't have any gathering, so I tried to put the gathering. I tried to get permission, but no. And I was called off by the police. Is it
So,
because I don't fight the Islamophobia propaganda, or what is it for? That's my straight question from these people.
right. Mandra, there are you also have colleagues, Iranian colleagues within the industry.
Yeah.
What kind of conversation you guys have been having, and what kind of conversation they have been having with their family back in Iran?
So there is no Iranian artist in India right now who has openly spoken about what's happening. And some people are she has spoken. She has spoken. But to be honest, I have asked her 2022 to come with us for Masa Amini. She did not show up. And to be honest, right now is the time to fight and to say why are you doing this way or not that way. But
Mhm.
I didn't get even the support of Elnas for the gathering that I was planning in Bombay in 2022,
Mhm.
in end of January and 14th of Feb. I didn't get her support as well. And to be honest, the reason I'm feeling so homesick and lonely in Bombay is not because I don't have friends. I know a lot of Iranians, but they either quietly posting few stories, or
Mhm.
they trying to talk about their own agenda, or
Mhm.
they just send me private messages and they say, oh, thank you so much for everything that you do for Iran. But I don't have anyone in Bombay, in India, who calls me or who says, okay, you know what, I'm going to come with you. What do you want me to do? Let's print out t-shirt. Let's Because right now what's happening in Iran with Iranian people is not the time to be okay by just posting few stories or put a Iranian flag and be like, "Oh, I feel bad for my people." No. It's a time to have conversation, to challenge the reporters, to challenge governments and say, "Why are you still quiet? Why in a country that I call home, I call India home, why I don't get permission, but thousands of so-called Muslims in Lucknow, in Bangalore, in Delhi, they get permission to be on the street? Why is that? We have to question the government that we are all the Iranians that I know in London, in Canada, in LA, and many different cities and countries, they're
Mhm.
all questioning their own government. Because Iranians, as an Iranian, I have lived here for 15 years. I
Yeah.
take this home as my country. This
Yeah.
I call this place home. The people here are my brothers and sisters as well. And what I'm doing is I'm questioning it. Why
Mm.
I'm not getting a permission? Why my people are not being called to your channel to talk about our side of the story?
Right. And Mandana, in this whole situation, this whole war, how happy or disappointed are you with Indian government stand?
See, it's not about Indian government. It's not about Indian government. People in the city or a country, that's how you make the whole of the country, right? I do get a lot of support as well by people who watched my interview when I was cut off. I am getting beautiful messages that some people are saying that, listen, we are not India. The Indians that we are, we support you. And I'm not disheartened by the government, because if the government of India would not have kept me safe, I cannot share details. Because of Indian government, right now I'm safe. Otherwise, I would not be safe. And I'm grateful to the government. What I'm disheartened with is people who are not. They did not call me. They did not voice any opinion on anything in January, since January until now. But suddenly, when the Israel and America has attacked Iran, they calling me and they say, "Oh, shame on you! You're supporting a war. Shame on you! What kind of a Muslim are you? Oh, how about the school children who were killed? So now you like Israel and you should get out of my country." The same people. So my disheartening is like, where were you when my 60,000 of my people were died? Where were you when my Shah announced that I have to go to the street in support of my people? I didn't get permission. Where were you those times? And now suddenly you become an activist. You care about women's life. The 60,000 people who died, the women which we couldn't we haven't been able to find their bodies. Where are those women? Oh, you were an activist then. You didn't care about humanity then, and now you care because Israel and America attack Iran.
Hmm.
Do you know, you understand what I mean? Because
Yeah.
and the reason I told you I don't want to talk about myself, because I have to amplify these pointers, because these pointers, the use of the Islam, the use of the children of Gaza, so and so, it's all part of a propaganda of the Iranian regime. And
Okay.
and we have to call it out, and I have to talk about it, that why we're not questioning that.
And
So
Mandana, you highlighted a very important point, and and I would also say a very crucial point, and I want to
Sure.
highlight. I want to ask you further on the point. You said that it's part, or it was part of, or it is part of the propaganda of the Iranian regime.
Yes. Correct.
Right?
Yes.
How, on what basis are you saying that? Is
Okay.
there yeah.
Yes, it is. No, it is. I would like you to do a little bit of a research after this interview that we have before even you post it. If you don't believe me, there are a lot of reporters that they went either as a tourist or they went to Iran to see what is Iran, right? So they got their visa, they were watched, whatever, they were arrested, and they got a label of a spy, and they were in Iran for many years in
Mhm.
jail. Okay, tell me something. If it's not a propaganda, why someone from India today goes to Iran, okay, does an interview with the official government of regime, the regime, Arakchi. She does an interview with Arakchi and sitting in Iran and saying that, oh, Iran is very peaceful. I don't see any force of hijab. Oh, the government has calmed down with hijab. Iran looks like another European city or country. If it's not part of the propaganda, why people like me, who we have problems with the regime, we go on the street, our bodies doesn't come back, but these people freely, they walk around in Tehran and they say, oh, this country is so peaceful, look at my hair, flipping the hair on the street, that our children, our family members, they were shot. If it's not a propaganda, but what is it then? You don't believe me? Please do your research about that. And there are very selective influencer or reporters who are going to Iran, safety, they look beautiful, they're walking around, and there's no problem, and they come back out of Iran alive. And this woman who was challenging me on India today, when I started talking about the reality and the fact, they cut me off. Why do you cut me off? Let's talk. if
Right.
if you call yourself and a reporter, that you
Mhm.
are reporting news, right? You don't have any side, you don't have any agenda. You talk, I'll talk. I'll put my point of view, because I was born there. I am Iranian. I was forced to change my passport because my life was in danger.
Hmm.
Do you think I know my country better than you? No, I don't think so. Because I give the same respect to Indians. I know I've lived in India for 15 years. I know the culture. I know my people. But anytime when there is any situation, I go to my Indian people and I say, hey guys, what do you think? Like, tell me the history, why this is happening. And you're not even doing that. And as a reporter, shame on you. Shame on you that you're selling a propaganda of a regime like Iranian regime.
Right. Right. Mandana, I think kudos to you
Sure.
for speaking out so boldly on this particular topic.
Of course.
I know you said that you don't want to talk about yourself. You want to talk about
Yeah.
your people. But I would really want you to touch upon that. I was watching in one of your interviews where you said that ever since you sort of became so-called activist in the eyes of some people in the industry, you faced a lot of backlash in terms of work dried up, and people like you also just now shared that people calling you up and saying that, oh, you should be
Yeah.
ashamed that you're supporting the war.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what was that point. Was there a post you made? Was there something you said on social media? What marked that turning point where people in the industry started to look at you as an activist?
See, the fact that in Me Too, when Me Too, so before Me Too, everyone knew as an actress, I had my own mind. Okay, I respect you, I respect your opinion, but I don't give in to bullies. Everyone knew it, right? And the work that I've done, if you look at the body of work that I've done, it was because I'm good at it. They hired me because I did an audition for it. It wasn't because of my relationships or I was with, whoever or whatever. When Me Too happened, a lot of people told me, don't talk about it. You are in India. As a foreigner, they're gonna put the stamp on you that you're getting into too much of what do you call it? Drama. This is all drama. This is all news. And I said, as a woman, I know how it feels to not being heard. I know how it feels to not being safe because I come from Iran. At the age of 17, at the age of 14, I've been arrested. I know how it feels. And I have experienced that again and again and again, over and over. So I'm going to stand up for Me Too movement, which I did. Later on, after that, I was blocked by a lot of people. I was blocked by a lot of production house. Oh, she's too much of drama. We don't know what she's going to do. We don't know what she's going to say. Because the moment people cannot control you, or they cannot kind of like force you to do what they want you to do, or what they want you to say, you become a problem, especially in a country like India, right? Especially in an industry like Bollywood, because I don't have to explain it. I don't want to get into it. That's not a place and time for it. But then 2022, Mahsa Amini, when I went to the street, and then people were like, "Are you crazy? One person has gone for a protest." I was like, "Yeah, one person," because no one joined with me. I called so many times. Elnaz again. I called Elnaz. I called a lot of other people. No one came with me. But you know what? Why I did it? Because as a woman, I know how it feels to be alone, and I know how if a girl in Iran goes to the streets by knowing that she's gonna be shot dead, but anyway you're gonna talk about it, I will do the same thing while knowing I'm sitting in India and I'm safe. So that kind of attitude for a lot of people is like, we don't know what she's gonna say or what she's gonna, because I'm not part of any group or any activation. And anyway, I will do it again and again and again. Since January, now I've become, people are calling me like, "Oh, do you work with politician like groups, or do you work with channels?" I'm like, "No, I'm Iranian. I live in India and I've been affected." What happened in January 8th and 9th, it has broke something inside all of us. And I'm telling you this very honestly, something has broke within me, that it doesn't matter where I go, it doesn't matter how much of a safety that I have, the fact, the phone calls that I get, the messages that I get from my people, and if I'm not going to talk about them, if I'm not going to amplify their voice, then who am I? And for me, you know that famous question they ask you, do you want to be famous or do you want to be a good human? You know that thing that they ask the question. I want to be a human. I want to be known for the fact that, oh, she spoke for her people. She stood up and she spoke. And that's the kind of a person that I don't care about the projects and the money. That will come. I'm smart enough, I'm intelligent enough to make money. I'm Iranian, to be honest. So I'm not worried about losing the project. But yes, I have become tagged and labeled as an activist or too political.
And work has dried up because of
It
you standing
has.
with your people.
It has. It has. It has.
and and what do these people say, that, oh, you've become like you're supporting a war, that's why we don't want to work with you, or what is the
No,
argument?
there is no argument. It's very politely to, it's like you tell someone to shut up, but you say it in a very sweet way, but you already have said shut up. So those are the language. It's like a very polite, "Oh, we don't think right now actually you are fit for the project." I don't act anymore. I'm an interior designer, and that's what I do. Even in design space, I do get invited for the events or whatsoever. But when it comes to a brand collaboration, and I tell them that my platform is for my Iranian families and friends and my people, and they say, "Oh no, actually the brand has checked your social media and it's too political for us." And I say, "Okay,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
yeah,
Mandana, you just now during this conversation mentioned that, as a 14, 15-year-old, or I think you said a 17-year-old, you were
yeah,
back home in Iran, you were arrested, right?
yeah,
Uh, Today that people are in India are going out on streets and protesting against whatever is happening in Iran. Uh, of course, what would, you did send out a message to them, but can you tell us, growing up, growing up in Iran, what kind of problems did women like you faced,
yeah.
and how things haven't changed uh, till date?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, to the people who are sitting in India and in their own comfort of home and a safety net that they have, I want to say one thing. Uh, you cannot even imagine the pain Iranian women have gone through in 48 years with this regime. You cannot even imagine. So I am happy that you cannot imagine because you weren't in that situation. So have empathy for Iranian women. Behave a little bit more with the sympathy and have empathy for Iranian women. I know a lot of opinions that I, as an Iranian woman, have towards my country, towards my people, it might come across a little bit too strong for you guys, and I understand that. And I'm happy for you guys that you guys never been in my place or any Iranian woman who are inside Iran. But and a woman in Iran has absolutely no right to what to wear, no right to sing, no right to dance, no right to study certain major in university, no rights to have dog in your car and drive around. You get arrested for that as well. Rape in jail, it's the numbers unknown. The amount of women who were arrested and got raped and their body was thrown somewhere and the family found it after days, it's unimaginable. The numbers are so high. The list goes on, darling. The list goes on. So as a woman, you don't have any right in Iran. And people like me, who I left my home, who I left my country and I came out, I am one of the lucky one because I could be Mahsa Amini. I could be the girl who was singing on the street and she got arrested. I could be the girl who her family since January 8th, they don't know where is her body. I could be that girl. So please have a
And
little bit of more empathy for Iranian women.
how has your family coped up all these years there?
My mother, I actually tried to bring my family from Iran, and they said my mom came to India for like I think 5 months, and she said, "Listen, I miss Iran. I miss Iran. You know, I want to be in my country with all the problems that we have. I just want to go back." And I tell you, a person like me, I tell you what happened. The reason I left at the age of 18, I was arrested roughly when I was 17, and I was in a sale with few of my friends. It's a long story, but after 3 days, no water, no food, they allow us to be released. And while we were about to leave, this officer comes and says, "Oh, I'm going to show you brats that this is Islamic regime, this is Islamic country." So they gave us 75 lashes to everybody. And because I met by accident, I was in middle of accident. That's how we got arrested. But she looks at me and she's like, "Sorry, I'm using this language," but she said, "Oh, God already has properly, so you don't have to get lashes, but you watch your friends to get lashes." So imagine you're 17 years old, you see your friends get lashes, and you don't understand why. You don't understand why you even in that place to begin with, something just switched on me and I was like, I can't do this. I didn't have a support of my family. I left with no family, no nothing, no money. I had like a couple of $100 or whatever, and that's how I left the country. So for someone like me, I had to leave. I could not do anything anymore.
So, Mandana, a lot of people, if I just talk about India, are questioning US and Israel for bombing Iran, and saying that a lot of innocent lives have been lost. So, what do you have to say on that? So many innocents are losing their lives in this war. What kind of conversation you're having around those lines with your family? Are they also scared?
Yeah. See, we know that in war, there are going to be innocent people, they're going to lose their life. We know that as Iranians. And we're not crazy by liking this war or being happy about this war and celebrating for this war. Just imagine a nation in how much pain and agony they've been living in, that they are happy that Israel and America is attacking their country. And people think that this war has happened today and people are losing their life right now in Iran. We have been in January itself, we have lost more than 60,000 people in one day. In one day. And if we're going to lose few more people in this time and period of the war, which Israel and America has attacked, we don't mind that. And it's such a sad it's tragic that Iranians are talking about being happy about the war. And people, they don't want to look at that. People, what they try, especially people in India, they want to make it a war because of Islam. They want to talk about the kids who are dying now in that school attack. They want to talk about like, oh, how Islam can do this. Or they don't want to talk about the reality. The reality is everyone knows War is not some picnic that people are gonna, just survive it. Yes, there's gonna be a casualty, people are gonna lose their life, but Iranian people have been losing their lives for 48 years. They stole my childhood. They stole my livelihood that I could have in Iran. So who's talking about that? Who's talking about millions of Iranians that they had to pack their bag and leave their home country? Who talks about that? That's also in some way that's also losing your livelihood, right? So
Right.
no one is talking about that, but because Israel and America's name has come to this
Mhm.
war, now suddenly everyone has an opinion.
Yeah. And now, Mandana, that the regime change is in process. What are your plans after going back? And are you sure that you want to go back to your family in Iran? And like, how
Of
are you going
course.
to navigate? How are
Of
you going to
course, if I
navigate?
had I haven't been to my country for over 10 years now because I've been banned from my country. And all we are waiting for is the announcement from our king when he's going to announce and say, okay, people of Iran, they can go on the street and they can take the country back because now the help is there, right? America and Israel is helping. The last bit of this revolution is going to be the people who they're going to take the country back. And the moment that's going to happen, the moment that our king is ready to go back to Iran and we all can go back to free Iran, I'll be on the next flight.
All right. All right.
And I promise you, and I want to add, sorry to cut you, I want to add this as a last point, and I want people to think about it. Think of any Iranian that you know around your group of friends or you heard of, or the CEO or people who are running big companies. Imagine the same Iranians who they built so much for different nations. Imagine the same Iranians go back to Iran and rebuild that country. Just imagine the beautiful relationship and a safe Middle East that we're gonna have. Just imagine that day for us. That's all I want to say.
Right. Right. Thank you, Mandana. Thank you so much.
Of
And
course.
thank you for speaking from your heart. Thank you for sharing everything
Of
that you
course.
have. Um, I think
Thank you
that's
so
it.
much. Thank you so much for having me. And Javid Shah, Piruz Iran.